Welcome back to another video. Today we're playing at Oasis. I have a Winston tank, Moira, Mercy as healers and a Bastion as DPS. At the beginning here I always like to go on the right side because you can use some nice cover against enemy hitscan, and if you're lucky you can also boop somebody down from the high ground there. And as you can see here at the beginning, in a second there's gonna be a tracer, and I will try to boop here. I do that right now, but unfortunately she did get away. I did not get her, but still it's a really nice way to go as Pharah. Now the tracer comes back here, but I make her back off, and then I look and see that the Zen is completely alone, so I just go in and pick him off. Now I see the tracer is really low, so I go for her, but she blinks away. I see the Mercy all alone there as well, so I decide I can go in for her and just pick her off. She was low already. Got a hit on the McCree, and I want to finish the McCree, but Winston bubbles him, and my team has already died, all of them. So even though I got 2 picks, it did not help because my team was already dead. Now the Winston was annoyed we lost that fight, and he says, "Can you play with me?" And he's correct in that, but at the same time the Winston wants to dive their supports in the backline, and I am being focused by the enemy McCree. So you can see that I see the McCree here and I go for him and try to get him, but he's getting pocketed and my Winston is busy going for their enemy's end. Now I'm back from spawn and the tracer wants me to swap Pharah. That's normal, because if I'm not carrying the team they usually say that, somebody on the team. Now I do manage to take the point because our Winston kept alive all that time, and we are now getting to regroup. I don't want to go too far forward because then I can get picked off. Now I do get a lucky hit on the Zen here and we got 1 pick. Then I see my Winston dive in, so I go in and help finish off that McCree. And since we got 2 picks now, I don't really have to push any further. They will not be able to push, and I can just chill here and just get some ult charge by spamming rockets. Now our Winston goes in a bit deeper here, but I don't want to stay where he is, because as you saw he backed off very quickly, and I did not back off in time. So we are now regrouping after losing that last fight. Our Winston is annoyed that we have lost fights, and I want to get the soldier really bad here, so I use barrage. Normally this is not a good way to use it, but thanks to the barrage the soldier goes out again and we get him. The soldier is a real threat for me because he can pick me off really easily. I fly up here because I want to get a position that's above the McCree. Now I hear him inside here, he's always in this room on this map. I get a hit on him and I try to get another, but the Winston saves him once again. The Winston is playing really good, protecting their McCree. So I am back now again and we are holding the point. Now we are also regrouping and the enemy are pushing, so I take cover inside the building here. The Winston goes from his way, boop back. I want to get the McCree there, but as you saw my Winston is on the left side going for the enemy Mercy. My Winston is not understanding how much of a threat the McCree and soldier is. And that's good if the Winston dives the healers, and it works with Genji and Tracer, but with Pharah it's not as effective because their hitscan just picks me off when my Winston wants to get their support. So that's just how it works. Now you saw that we did win the fight. I got a Kiriko pick and we pushed them back. So now, like last time, I don't want to go where the Winston is right now, that's way too far. He will back whenever they start pushing him, so I'm already taking cover, getting ready. Since I have a barrage here any second, I want to get that ult charge and use it anytime soon. So I see the Winston go in here, so I decide I'm gonna go for him. I might barrage him. Now I have the barrage and I decide I'm gonna use it here. Unfortunately there was only a Widow there and not 2 hitscan. Now we did kinda lose this fight. I'm back from spawn, but as you see there's nobody alive at this point, and I get picked off really quickly by the remaining McCree and the healer. So that's unfortunate that it happened like that, but it's because the enemy Winston went in on our point, and my team completely just focused him, and this gave the enemy team so much space. They could just go in and take positions. Now if we had held the choke points, then I could have used barrage and gotten more picks. So we're now attacking, and the Winston on my team is saying that he's focusing the McCree, but it's still not helping. As you saw in the point before, he isn't really focusing the McCree enough. He's going for the supports a lot more of the time. But that's fine, we just lost 1 point. We're now going on the second, and as you see I always like to take the high ground here. That's really good as Pharah. You don't want any hitscan or Widow staying up here. I go for the Mercy there because she was stuck on the side. And by this time we have already picked 4 people and we just finish up the Winston. So we have now captured the point, and the thing you want to do now is take the high ground that I spoke about just recently and stay up here. When the enemy hitscan are pushing, you don't want to go behind this wall, let them come out from the wall, and then you can use this high ground to shoot down on them. They will be focused on you, and your tank, or my Winston in this case, can push them. So you can see how the McCree is being forced to take a position quite far away from me, because he wants to get a clear shot on me. At the same time as my Winston dives, I can go in here from the high ground. And remember, I had cover on the high ground all this time, so I was able to shoot, I had cover, and I did not have to stay exposed, you know, in the middle or going into behind the wall. So now I'm waiting for the enemy team to push again, and this is the same situation, so I want to stay up here because I don't want them to pick me off really quickly. The McCree is clever, you see he went far right, he wants to get a good pick on me. Now my Winston pushes the enemy McCree and I have a decision, either I stay back or I go in and help him. And I decide I'm gonna go in and help him because my Winston can't hold the entire enemy team if they push there on the right side. And you saw the decision to help my Winston was good because I got 2 picks, I get a rest now, and we won that fight. But you can see how the enemy McCree started to adapt because I was staying up on the high ground. Now I still want to go back to the high ground and hold it. Now I see the enemy, I try to boop somebody down, I see they're pushing again. And I go back here on the high ground and I notice there's a McCree alone on the right side. You can see that the enemy is not giving him mercy pocket, they don't believe in him. Now I shoot at him, I see the soldier trying to flank me on the left. And as you can see, both the McCree and the soldier trying to counter me. So the McCree went right alone, he got picked off. Soldier went left alone to counter me, he got probably visor ultimate, he got picked off as well. And it's the same thing for me. If they had a pocket on their McCree, I would also have to focus their pocket McCree. And in my case, I'm getting pockets, so they have no other choice than to focus me. And since their team have different priorities, their hitscan wants to get me, their healers don't really care about me, and it ends up not working so good for them. So we are now at the 3rd point, and my Winston is having a discussion in the team chat, and I tell him that focus their DPS because they are carrying the enemy team, and that's what I think is happening. Anyway, we start pushing here, the enemies are very spread out, and we get the McCree I think here very quickly. Now I see the soldier is already taking the point, so I ignore him, we just focus the enemy tank. They are so split up, the soldier can't do anything at the point. And you can see how their team is totally split up. I guess they're maybe angry at each other or not wanting to go together. So I'm back from spawn and I go for the McCree here, and I think we pick him off. I boop him back and he gets picked off, he was way too far ahead. They mark the soldiers on the left, I go for him. I see he backed though, so I can't really push him now. And you can see that I'm really chasing the enemy hitscan right now. If I can get them, it's basically a free win for me. Now they are backing, or regrouping rather. I don't want to go across this wall. And you see the McCree went echo, I did not notice that. I do get a rest however, so I can go back to the fight here. I don't want to go behind this wall. I saw the soldier went alone here, so I go for him. I panic a bit and he manages to pick me off here, unfortunately. So I'm back from spawn and I see that the enemies are pushing in. I want to go in on the point, but I fail my boop here, so I decide I'm just gonna go here. I see the echo, which is good. She's on the ground, she just used her fly ability and she can't do anything if I go in on her. So remember, if you wanna go in on an echo, wait for her to use her fly ability, then she's basically useless. So now the enemy team Sigma is split off again, they are not together and we just pick him off. And now we're gonna wait for the next team fight. My Mercy is having some fun, I guess, with her ultimate, she gets picked off. Since I have Barrage here, I want to hide and wait for the right opportunity. So I stay here, I don't got any Mercy pocket, so I don't want to show myself either. And I think the Echo shows herself here, but she was very low, so I just picked her off when she came there. And now I just wanna finish off that Mercy if I can. She's pretty low, and I decide I'm just gonna barrage her because it's an easy pick at such a close distance. And now I can go in on the point and finish up whoever is left. Now that was the Orisa. Now the Echo comes back here, but she does not touch in time. So you want to get a good dive team with you, because it completely countered the enemy hitscan who wanted to counter my Pharah. Now in competitive you will get random teams, so sometimes your team will not dive with you, and then you will have to do your best anyway. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.